Hello, Mallards. It is Thursday. It is actually 2:45 in the morning on Thursday. But I am about to get set up to watch the premiere of season 2 of Our Flag Means Death. So I'm going to enjoy that. And then I'm going to share some thoughts with you, probably actually many hours from now, once I've slept again. But I wanted to start the video now to let you know what I'm up to. And I also think that I might take a time lapse of me reacting, and we'll see how that looks. Well, I did it. I finished watching the first 3 episodes of season 2. It is now 4:35 in the morning. I've been on an emotional roller coaster. I have so many notes. At some point, I will talk to you about the episodes when I feel a little more coherent, and I might watch them again before I do that. But for now, I'm going to share my completely unhinged, in-the-moment thoughts with Twitter, because that's as it should be, and then I'm gonna sleep for a few more hours before I have to go to work. But it was beautiful, and somehow it's just so much more than I expected. The writers of the show are incredible. They did a lot of things that I never would have guessed, and I'm so happy to be reunited with all of these amazing characters and to go on a journey that I couldn't possibly have thought up. Because as unhinged as the fandom is, and as wild as we are, the creators of the show are even more insane, and it's just so good. Like, I almost cried a bunch of times, I laughed a bunch of times, I'm so happy. I'll try to consolidate some thoughts for later, but for now, I'm gonna go to bed, and you'll see this video later. I thought that I was going to share with you, my Our Flag Means Death season 2 thoughts, which is all of this. For 3 episodes, for 3 half-hour episodes, for an hour and a half of television, I wrote all of this. Can you tell I like this show? But instead of reading all of that to you, which I think would take entirely too long, I'm just going to go through a few very spoilery takeaways. So know that if you haven't watched, this will be spoilers. And the first one was that the titles just keep getting better and better, and the idea that one of them was a tramp stamp tattoo, absolutely perfect. I really, really, really enjoyed that. I also really liked that the show still kept a lot of the characters and characterizations, and that it still was really funny in places, even though it definitely has some darker themes for the season. But my main story / character takeaways are that I watched the recap of season 1 at the beginning, which brought back all of my feelings about hating Izzy, because I hated Izzy after the end of season 1, and then fandom sort of made me like Izzy a little bit, and then watching Canon Izzy in a recap, I was like, I hate that man. And then the first episodes of season 3 proceeded to be like, actually, he is gonna make you cry and feel things, and you're gonna love him at the end of this. And they were right, and I did. So that was a huge emotional journey I went on, in a very similar way, I suppose, to the way that Izzy went on an emotional journey. Like, did I think that I was gonna see Izzy cry? Actually, literally never. but I watched him cry and get hugged by Fang. And if that's not going to melt your heart, I don't know what will. The other thing is Lucius coming back. I really, really enjoyed that he didn't come back as the same person as when he left. Like, I liked that he has a change in his character and has some trauma and sadness surrounding that, because I think it's important to show that kind of stuff. And also, I just cheered when he laid into Steed. Like, I was so happy that he gave Steed what for all the things that Steed did. And then watching Ed completely self-destruct and fall apart broke my heart entirely. And Taika Waititi is so good, and Rhys Darby is so good, and like, they are classically comedians. Like, that is how they met, and a lot of people think about them for comedy. But I will come back to that old adage that not all dramatic actors can do comedy, but all comedic actors can do drama and do it well, because comedy is oftentimes treating ridiculous things in a dramatic fashion for laughs. So they're really good at treating dramatic things with that same care. And both of them made me so emotional over this whole thing. And every new character introduced in this show is golden, with the exception of the guy who's definitely going to become the bad guy. He was kind of a wet blanket and sort of boring. But everybody else, amazing. Amazing. And every part of these episodes, incredible. And the end, oh my gosh. So the idea that Blackbeard had gone so crazy that a mutiny wasn't enough, they actually had to kill him. So they hit him over the head and thought that they had killed him. And that includes Izzy. And knowing that they had killed him, Steed still made a plan. An actual, like, decent plan, by the way, which was mind-blowing. Steed is coming up with decent plans. The world has changed. An actual decent plan to save them, despite the fact that they killed Ed, because he sort of understood that he drove them to that. And that, heartbreaking and beautiful. But him just talking to what he thought was Ed's dead body, and then Ed, like, choosing to return from the gravy basket and come back to life with Steed talking to him, was amazing and incredible. And also a really unfair way to end a third episode when I can't watch more until next week. Hope you enjoyed the what I'm sure was absolutely insane time lapse of me emotionally reacting to 3 episodes, and this little bit of me giving you a bunch of thoughts that are mostly about how I love all of these characters so much. So much. So much. I need to watch it 7 more times to have more coherent thoughts, and I'm not going to be able to do that. So for now, I'm just gonna head to bed, and I'll see you tomorrow.